Okay, this is the fourth video in working with vector shapes. In this video, we hope to show you how to use the type tools and how to convert type into vector shapes. And then if we have extra little time, we'll combine all that and show you how to save a vector shape for your library. So let us begin. This is where we left off before. I'm going to shut this layer off and we're going to start brand new. We're going to use one of these new shapes and let's see, we'll pick the color red, I think. That'll work nicely, and I'm going to go on over and I'm going to use a heart. I'm going to take the heart, I'm going to go over to the page, and I want to make a big heart on the page. If I want it to be perfectly proportioned, not distorted or warped, hit the Shift key, and we have our shape beginning. So we have the heart down, we're going to leave it there. And then we're going to go on over and I'm going to grab the text tool and I'm going to type in the word love. We'll do that right here. L-O-V-E, love. And let me move that over on my page so it's a little better viewed. Let me take it and select the type again and show you a couple of things. One, we can change the font here. There are a variety of different fonts that you could explore. I'm going to be using this Santa Fe. I like the script. It's going to work pretty. Now I have it here. I can also change the color of it. So for example, I want to sample that same red was on the heart. I'll hit that. And so now I have the color I want to use. I can take the type. I can rotate it by hitting Command T. And once I do that, I'd have the ability to rotate the type. Let's see, let's set that up for rotating here. Command T. I can rotate the type, I can scale the type, and I'm going to put it in place about here. I'm going to take the type, double click it so the editing is complete. I'm going to right click it, the layer, and I'm going to tell it to convert to shape. And now that type is no longer editable as type, it is now individual shapes. So if I click on it, you'll notice we have individual paths for each letter. We can combine all the letters, hit the Shift key, and all of them, and I can tell them to merge them into one component. So now the type is one component. I have the shape, the type over the shape. I'm going to select them both layers here by hitting the Shift key, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to say merge shapes. Now they're on the same shape layer. Depending on how we instruct the computer, we can leave it as combined, and you'd see it just combined. We do subtract, and we create negative space with the type, and that's still movable. We can go over and say intersecting shapes, so the only thing that happens is you can only see the parts that intersect. Or you can go over and say exclude shapes. For this, let me scale this up a little bit. You can really get a sense of it. And now as I put this in, wherever the shapes, let me double click so the edit's complete. Wherever the shapes overlap, you get a negative, positive kind of look to it. If you like what you have, you can combine that by coming here and say merge shape components. Now I have a unique shape. If I want to add this to my library of shapes, like here, what I do is I go on over to Edit, and I would say Define Custom Shape, and my shape would pop up. I could give it a name. We'll call it Love, and we'll say OK. And now whenever I'm looking for it, I can go over and I would find it ready in my arsenal of pre-made shapes. I just did that on its own layer. But let's go back to this one. Let's talk about what else we could do with it. When we click on the object here, you notice we have the entire object. We could still make changes. We could still change the color, right? Or we can add a stroke. I'm going to add a little stroke to it like this. You'll notice how the color is any color I choose. I could also put a gradient for the stroke. I could also set it to different patterns. I could change the thickness of my stroke here, depending on what I'd like. I think the 3 I had was perfect, though. And one of my favorite things, well, 3 wasn't perfect. Let's try that again. Let's try a 15. How's 15 working out? That's too much. Maybe 3 was right. 3 is perfect. Anyway, I could also change this to different patterns. So that's with dashes and this is with dots. I think that's just exquisite. Don't forget you can do lots of great stuff with your layer effects as well. We can turn these objects and give them a sense of 3D. Or we can add drop shadows and add depth to them and distance. So explore, have fun. I hope you're enjoying this information. Thank you.